All over the world, people are seduced by precious stones. Among the most alluring are rubies and sapphires. They are more rare than diamonds and often more expensive, with characteristics that have baffled scientists. Some of the finest are pulled from the earth by peasant miners in Sri Lanka and shaped by the famous cutters of Thailand. Their color can be artificially changed, forcing labs to develop new ways to detect an altered gem. Precious stones make a perilous journey to the most discerning collectors of the West. On the surface, rubies and sapphires are dramatically different. In the 1700s, chemists were startled to discover they are in fact closely related. Some of the most glittering stars in the world of rubies and sapphires are in royal collections, like the renowned English crown jewels. The royal regalia are locked inside the infamous Tower of London, the site of many royal executions. "30 years ago, this tropical paradise became a hell. Tension between the Sinhalese majority and the Tamil minority turned into violence. Next to the city's food market is one of the busiest gem markets in Asia. It's many times bigger than the market in Sri Lanka and much more modern. Stones are served up from all over the world. It's a feast for ruby lovers. Men and women carry canvas pouches full of stones. Brokers use cell phones to call big-time dealers. Brazil, an exciting tropical country. A land of color and history. And people with a passion for life. Brazil is as famous for Carnival as for its jewels. No country in the world has such a brilliant variety of gems, including rare topaz. Australia, a land that has fired the imagination of those in search of the exotic. It boasts more than just unique wildlife. In the outback, the hunt is on for one of nature's buried treasures. A colorful and elusive opal. Australian Aboriginals believe it was created by an ancient spirit. Scientists are still struggling to unlock its secrets.
No one knows why opal is in one place and not in another.
In Australia, miners live in fear of so-called ratters, the opal thieves of the outback.
The ratter is a thief who actually goes down your mine and steals your opal.
For thousands of years, the people of the Baltic have combed the beaches in search of Nordic gold, amber washed up by the sea. In Poland, the amber gatherer is even celebrated in works of art. Bogdan Morawski is a sculptor. He is one of nearly 8,000 Poles who derive at least some of their livelihood from amber.
My attitude towards amber is obvious. I'm fascinated by it. The fact that it's very ancient and very decorative, and it combines beautifully with metals.
There's no amber in Cape Breton, Canada, so David Lamb depends on foreign sources. He is one of very few jewelers working with Burmese amber. The only known deposit was thought to have been mined out early in the last century, but a new one was discovered by a Canadian gold mining company in 1999.
It has just been redated at approximately 100 million years old.
While scientists were working on techniques for extracting the DNA, author Michael Crichton imagined where the research might lead. In his novel, Jurassic Park, amber holds the key to resurrecting a lost world. Amber and the secrets it might contain captured the public's imagination for the first time. This is how Crichton imagined the science working. 65 million years ago, a mosquito feeds on the blood of a dinosaur. Then, exhausted by its efforts, lands on a tree to rest and gets a nasty surprise. Perfectly preserved in amber, the stomach contents yield the dinosaur's blood and its DNA, which is used to clone living relics of the ancient past. Science fact or science fiction? Since the Middle Ages, amber has been a prized commodity. The immense Malbork Castle was built by the Teutonic Knights out of profits from the amber trade. It now contains a museum of antique amber objects, some dating back to the 1600s. This 17th century jewelry box is constructed entirely from pieces of amber. Even more elaborate is this miniature altar. But the ultimate amber creation has disappeared. For 200 years, the fabulous amber room was the crown jewel in one of the glittering palaces of Imperial Russia. The amber room was considered by many to be the 8th wonder of the world.
The amber room still is the biggest amber artifact in the history of mankind.
Just east of Canada's Rocky Mountains, in a sparsely populated area of southern Alberta, is a gem found nowhere else in the world. A little-known stone called amylite. Precious stones like diamonds, rubies, and emeralds have been known for thousands of years. But amylite was only officially recognized in the early 1980s. Some of Canada's natives included amylite in their medicine bags for health and good hunting. But generations of Albertans thought it was nothing more than a curiosity, an interesting fossil. It would take the determination of a small group of enthusiasts to elevate amylite to the status of a precious stone. It would require more than a decade of lobbying to have it admitted to the exclusive family of gems by the World Jewelry Confederation. The amylite that Carbone transformed came from Roy Cormus's ranch in southern Alberta.
I know in Bangkok, the laboratories there tell me that one of the most frequently brought in stones for identification, having just been bought as natural, is either one of my stones or one of my competitors' stones, and it's been sold as natural.
In South America, the wilderness has spawned a type of fever that infects the entire country of Colombia. It's a fever that doesn't discriminate. It infects the rich in search of symbols of wealth and status. And the poor in a desperate search of a better life. They call it la fiebre verde, the green fever. And it's caused by a clump of green crystals encased in rock, the source of the world's best emeralds. Gangs that target jewelers and gem dealers are well organized, well equipped, sometimes heavily armed, and often violent.
They themselves are part of the value added. They are adding the exotic, the allure, the romance. You know, we just romance the stones, we sell them, and we're selling beauty, which is unquantifiable.
To reach the wealthy consumers of the West, precious stones follow a long and convoluted path. At every step, people who yearn for a better life. Many face uncertainty. Even danger. Others are forced to stretch the limits of science and technology to satisfy our longing for luxury, our desire to own a stone fit for a queen.